Hi, my name is Tim Gregory. I'm the senior pastor of Family Worship Center in Santa Fe, Texas. And today I want to talk to you about being all in for Jesus. In 1 Corinthians chapter 9, the Apostle Paul writes to the church in Corinth, and he's talking about him and Barnabas and their work they have done. And he's kind of talking about some of the hardships they've faced financially, being away from family, things they've had to go through. But he says, I'm doing it for a reason. You see, Paul is intentional about the way he is living his life. He's living it in a way that he points people to Jesus, no matter what the circumstance. He goes on and he tells them, when I was with the Jews, well, I behaved like the Jews. When I'm with the Gentiles, I lean more towards them. When I'm with the weak, I become weak. He says, I'm doing all of this for a purpose. And he says this craziest thing. He says, though I'm free from all, he says, I've made myself a slave to all. Why would anybody make themselves a slave to all? Well, to Paul, it was so important to point other people to Jesus that he would do whatever it took. He would make himself a slave. He would sacrifice, do what he needed to do. He'd go through hardships. It didn't matter. He wanted to point people to Jesus. He says this in 1 Corinthians 9, verse 23. He says, I do all of this, all for the sake of the gospel. I want to encourage you today, be all in for Jesus. Live your life for the sake of the gospel. Don't be self-centered, be Jesus-centered. Whether you're at work, whether you're in the grocery store, when you come to church, don't make it about yourself. Make it about Jesus, about pointing others towards Him. Paul said, I do this also so I may share in the blessing of winning others to Jesus. The chapter closes out, he's talking about an athlete. He talks about running a race, and he says every athlete competes, but not everyone wins. He says, I'm going to run in a way that ensures I win. And what he's talking about here is being intentional about the way he lives. He says, I'm not doing it aimlessly. I'm not living my life out aimlessly, accidentally. I am being purposeful about sharing the gospel. I encourage you to be purposeful about your life. Don't live accidentally. You're in a race, run it intentionally. Whether you're at work, church, grocery store, doesn't matter where you are. Live in a way that you point people to Jesus with your actions, with your words, with your attitude. Do it all for the sake of the gospel. Be all in for Jesus. Be blessed.